So let's get to the title topic. And this is going to be, I think, a fun one. And that is Lucid Airlines had some great news, which they were officially EPA rated range in their vehicle to 520 miles, which is over 100 miles for Tesla. I think the first thing you think when you read that headline is, okay, well, how does it compare to Tesla?
Yeah.
They're kind of the benchmark. 100 miles is legit. And so this ain't no joke, but getting into sort of this EV space, and you don't have to know all these Freddie, but we have the Ford F-150 pickup, which is an EV focus for Ford. Huge push. They clearly want to be the number one EV pickup. And they will be. The Tesla series. You have the GM Hummer, and now we have the Lucid. Have you seen the Lucid, Freddie?
I have not seen the Lucid. Is this from Ford, or is this something different? Like,
no, this is the company is Lucid.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a Lucid Air. I think the Dream Edition. You'll see it on the screen. Brad will pull it up in a second.
Yep.
But doesn't matter when the world is only EVs. When there are only EVs to buy, which brand will you be buying, Freddie?
Okay, we talked about Waymo before. How does this, before I even bring Tesla into the conversation, where does this rank against that? We're gonna do a tournament.
It's a different thing. Waymo is an automated taxi service. So it leverages other EV cars, but they're not building them. They could. Apple Car also don't. It looks like there's going to be an Apple EV in the next couple years, so that's one as well. But Waymo, as much as I want Waymo pussy to be a thing, bro, I don't think it's in this conversation.
Here's what the Lucid looks like, just to give you reference. I personally think it looks like a Toyota Camry.
It looks like a Toyota Camry, and I don't think it looks different enough than a Tesla.
Yeah.
Like the handles, it looks like they just tried to do the Tesla re-envisioned, when I feel like you gotta, I don't know, they didn't do enough for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Are you seeing it, Freddie?
Yeah, that looks like some basic ass shit. Shout out to housekeeping and also righteous troll. I want to give acknowledgement to people going hard in the chat. They're being funny. Yeah, that car looked very bland, but I think you need like a less sexy, more reasonable option, because maybe is Tesla like does Tesla have a bad like image with some people because of Elon Musk? Maybe this is a car for people that want to be communists or something like that, you know?
Listen, you're always going to have people that are going to go against whatever the popular pick is, just out of spite, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how, and there is arguments against like Tesla isn't as good as it claims, or as people claim.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe, but
I do too. And I don't know anything, but I agree.
But I do think there's going to be certain people who are just going to like not buy a Tesla just because they don't want to be sheep.
Now, the one thing that I will say is, and we can take a look at the chart right now, because after hours, it's still moving up. I had a pretty decent day. It's up 6.5% because of that EPA certification. That the Lucid does have pretty impressive numbers if they come out in production. 1,100 horsepower for that Camry, which is pretty nuts. And then that 500 and some change in range. Those are definitely compelling things that I think would move people to at least give it a try. And,
well, what's the horsepower for Tesla?
Well, the horsepower for the S Plaid, which I guess would be the competitor to that. I don't remember what the actual numbers are for that, but I know 0-60 times like 1.9 seconds.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, I imagine Lucid somewhere around there.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that car. Like that car I wouldn't have any issue with people buying it.
Yeah.
Again, my issue has always been if you're trying to do things that are just, it's like when competitors to Apple would try to be like, it's comparing it to the iPad. This is X compared to the iPad. This is battery life. This is the iPad. Any example comparative to the iPad, it's like, man, if they're doing promotion like focusing on the iPad, buy the iPad.
Yeah.
Buy the iPad. There's a going off topic real quick, but a good buddy of mine who built a successful car detailing business, started in his dorm. He started the business, did a mobile detailing and grew it to a multi-million-dollar business, ended up selling it, did really well for himself. he got his break when Under Armour was looking for car detailing companies, and all the people that they were like interviewing kept saying, Diamond Detail, like, we're just as good as Diamond Detail. We're like, whatever, we do this better than Diamond Detail. And Under Armour reached out to Diamond Detail and was like, everybody's talking about you, so we're going to go with you because clearly your competitors are trying to mimic you.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tesla is the same thing.
I agree.
And Apple's the same thing. Like, you just see the same thing across the board. But I will say, Lucid, outside of design, to your point, they are going... they're doing the right things. I mean, range is the big thing. Like, if I were to buy an EV, it's like, I need range. And 500 miles, we're getting there.
Yeah. 530 miles would get us from here in Maryland to the end of South Carolina.
Now,
wow.
So as far as the other thing is, and this, I don't know how much Lucid has control of this, is we got to get the charging stations, the rapid charging stations. We got to get more of them, and they got to get faster. Do you think, you're a car person, do you think that this gives Lucid the competitive advantage, this range, or can Tesla just snap their fingers and be like, oh, we'll get to 500, we'll get to 600 or 700?
I mean, given the fact that they just put people in the space that are just straight up regular civilians. I don't know. I know SpaceX is not Tesla and they're completely separate, but whatever. The technology changes hands all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that they could snap their fingers and be like, oh, well, now we got 600 miles of range. We didn't want to put it out this quick, but we just did it anyway.
Yeah.
Or, and so, yes, I think that they're very capable of doing that. But this definitely made the headlines. Lucid's going to sell cars regardless. And I think that this will probably likely go higher from here. I think it's them and Fisker that could, be the companies that are solely surrounded on EVs that could compete or at least stay in contention with Tesla. I still think Ford is number 2 comparatively, but they're not just exclusively the EVs, but it's Fisker and Lucid, I think, that are exclusively the EVs that could stay in contention with Tesla.
Yeah, and we've talked about Neo, Xpeng, Nikola.
Yes.
We haven't talked about him enough for me to remember how to pronounce the damn company. This one actually has legs.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that bear case, you got to be concerned a little bit about as the production ramps up. Are there any issues that come up?
Right.
I'm very interested in the cost structure of it, because that's where Tesla wins. They do have the smartest people, and they're addressing costs, and they clearly are trying to make margins greater and greater. So from a profitability perspective, they are far ahead of anybody else. So that is going to be the question for Lucid, is like, yeah, that's great. You can get to 500 range and your car is awesome, whatever. But like, is it affordable? And are you actually going to be able to make money on this thing as it scales? That remains to be seen. However, if you are looking for a speculative EV, Lucid is very reasonable to consider if you just don't want to pay the price tag of Tesla, which is sitting at $750 a share. Let me get a $20 stock. Let me speculate a little bit. I'm okay with that. I personally just love Tesla. I believe in Tesla. When I look in the future, it's all Tesla in my mind. So I'm just happy to see like a legitimate EV come into play, not like, Nikola.
Here's the other thing. The Lucid Air, the 1,100 horsepower one, it's $115,000.
Yeah. Yep.
So Tesla still has the advantage when it comes to pricing as well. So that's one other thing that's definitely a bear case for Lucid.
Yeah, you're not going to, and Tesla's about to, what was it, a $30,000 car, $25,000 car, something like that?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to sell a ton of those. How many $115,000 cars are you really going to sell?
Right.
So that's going to be the game changer. This is great for them. And let's not forget, Tesla Roadster is what they kind of led with, and that got the attention. So Lucid could be doing something similar. Let's get the attention with this sexy car. Although, if you compare the Lucid to Lucid Air Dream or whatever it is to the Tesla S, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But if you I don't know if you've seen this, Freddie, but if you take the Roadster,
oh my God,
it ain't even in the same stratosphere.
Right.
Like, the Tesla Roadster is sexy.
Yes.
That looks like just a regular A
A
regular
Camry
Tesla.
looks like a Camry.
It does.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Question: will the Lucid be able to use the Tesla chargers to charge their car?
Other companies will be. I don't know how it's going to work out, but Tesla actually did mention recently that they were going to allow charging stations to be beyond Tesla. So I don't know if there's going to be partnerships with companies or just anybody can do it. But possibly, and there certainly will be other companies that they'll allow leverage their charging network.
I like that because and correct me if I'm wrong here, but he doesn't want to like something about the patents. He wants to like the technology to be accessible, right?
That's the cool thing about him.
He's
getting all the information out. Yep.
Yeah.
So for him, he just wants to reach the goal, which is like EVs, minimizing carbon footprint, all this stuff that like gets us to the point where we're just having more EVs. That's ballsy for him to do, but it's actually kind of endearing because he's like, take it. We're still going to do it better than you.
Yeah.
I'll give you the code, the blueprint. Here it is. We're still going to do it better.
Yeah.
He's in it for the love of the game. When you do that, you know that if your competition gets better, now you have something to get better than this. Yeah. He's a real G. He's an RN, and I ain't talking about a regular registered nurse.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Rob T said, I like how the back seats of the Lucid recline. I haven't seen that feature.
Yeah, so it's designed like the price point and the target is for higher end people.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it is a basic family sedan that they're charging $115,000 for. It is legit luxury vehicle, lots of bells and whistles. Anything that you can imagine that you would want for 115K, it's in it.
So what the question you have to answer if you're interested in this is, well, you got to really anticipate what you think the vision of the company is and the direction they're going to go, because they could say, hey, we're going to be niche. We're going to kick ass of this luxury EV segment, but we're not going to try to dominate and have all these car lines or whatever, or we're going to go after the Teslas and try to have different lines and try to make it economical, because there are companies that are just fine staying high end and that's all they do. That's fine as a company, but a publicly traded company, shareholders, that may become a concern. So remains to be seen. I would imagine they're probably going to try to grow in a similar fashion that Tesla has, but I can't reiterate it enough, Brad. Tesla is just so far ahead of everybody else. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think the direction that Lucid's going in, just based off of some of the research that I've done, it's been more along the lines of that they're going to compete with the Mercedes, the BMW, that line of things. So yes, Tesla's still going to be a competitor, but Lucid has no interest in actually creating a Corolla type of vehicle where Tesla is.